Hi, this is Stan Houston, and you read it right. This program is not for you. That's right, this program is not for you. This program is for actually three people in particular and one in particular. This program is for those people who run, own, manage, or are on a radio station. This is for radio station people. And that's who I'm talking to today. Now, if you're not a radio station person, you don't need to listen. In fact, maybe you shouldn't listen. I can't forbid you to listen, but it's not for you. It's for somebody else. But we'll have a program for you sometime, too. However, if you want to, you can hang around, because it just so happens that what is true for my friends in the radio in some way might be useful and true for you, and it might be helpful for you to do some things so you don't land up in the radio business. Now, I do want you on a radio station, but I'm not so sure you should be in the radio business. Well, what am I talking about? Well, that's what our 10 minutes a day will be briefly about. That's right. This is not for you unless you run a radio.
Listening to a radio station where the mighty host of heaven sing. Turn your radio on. Turn your radio on. Turn your radio on. Turn your radio on. If you want to hear the songs of Zion coming from the land of endless spring, get in touch with God. Get in touch with God. Turn your radio on.
We're back after that fun little song. Hey, here's the deal. For everybody, post-COVID-19, we're going to be in for a long, hot summer and perhaps a long, cold winter. This is not going away soon, and who knows what the future will bring. Now, we do know holds the future, and we do know that in God's grace we are loved and cared for. And literally on a day in May 13th, 600 some years ago, a woman who we call Julian of Norwich received a special radio message. Not really, but it was a special message from God himself, she claims. And on those days, she said that God came to her on May 13th and showed her the showings of what God is and what God can be and what we should be. That happened many years ago. May 13th, a real radio program for Julian of Norwich, who is known for the expression which we use today, particularly in these difficult times. We say with God-filled confidence, all will be well. Did you know that was around this date in history? Here's the deal, my friends. Rush Limbaugh, who has probably been the master of radio for the last 30 years in America, certainly one of the best known and very popular, he also is not popular. And because he knows the radio business, he will tell you, as he did one time, he said, "Do you know what my ratings are? 46% of the people think I'm great. 46% don't like me, even hate me. And 8% have no opinion." And then he said, "Do you know that in the radio business, that's just about perfect? That's exactly what I want." Now, what did he mean by that? Well, you'll need to find out the importance of that when you learn a little bit about the new radio business from me and my team at What It Takes Radio. Here's the problem. The radio business, like the newspaper business, is in decline. It's in trouble. Now, one of the reasons is that it's such great stuff, and all of that great stuff costs lots of money. The towers, the transmitters, all of that equipment, the buildings and the studios, all of those things are extremely expensive. And what happens is that a person, unless they're in a car, or at least they're carrying or have a radio around, and there are fewer and fewer of them because people don't use radios as much anymore. They use smartphones, they use computers, they use tablets. You know the deal. Radio listenership is going down. As a result, radio listenership is falling. Radio revenue is falling. Advertisers are not nearly as possible or able to put their programs and put their message on the radio. And it's all coming together. Now, radio's been around, ironically and interestingly enough. The first real radio program, commercial radio program, broadcast not one-to-one to another person, but to other people out there. KDKA broadcast the election results of 1920 in Pennsylvania. 100 years ago. That's a very good run. 100 years. And here we are in 2020, and we're right in the middle of an election again. But it's changed. First of all, there's the internet, which changes everything. And then there is this COVID situation, which has totally changed the way we are looking at life, home, and business. All of that is changing. So what is true now is that you don't need a tower. You don't need a transmitter. You don't need an expensive microphone. You don't need expensive studios. And in many cases, you don't even need expensive people. Thanks to what you have right in front of you, the modern day podcast, hundreds and thousands and perhaps millions of people who have something to say and say it well and will be worthwhile, and in particular to a special audience just like this is. This program is for 3 people that I'm thinking of. And that's okay, because here's the secret of radio. If you try and reach everybody with everything, you reach nobody with nothing. But if you try and reach one person with something, you probably reach many people with many things. That's one of the great secrets, and you need to know the reason for the secret and what that means for how you do your life and how you do your business and how you do your advertising. Whenever you're trying to lead or influence people, that message is vital. So what's going to happen is I can listen to a radio program that I want simply by walking in and saying to my computer or to my speakerphone, "Hey, I'd like to hear some music by." And there it is. "Oh, what did so-and-so have to say on the radio today?" Bingo, it's there. It's right there. It's when I want it, exactly where I want it, any time that I want it. It's personal, it's on demand, and it's right now. And what's going to happen is that when I listen to a radio station, they put the music on. They put it on when they want to or when they have to. And they don't care whether it's convenient for me or not. They don't care. They can't care. They play it when they play it. They say it when they say it. However, I have gotten to the point where I want to hear the news, hear the message, hear the music I want. I can actually just simply create my own radio station. And so can you. Create your own radio station by the one you listen to and the one you're on. Someone called me today and said, "Stan, I'd like to do what you do. I don't have thousands and thousands of dollars to start doing a podcast." And I said, "Do you have $50? And they said, "Yes, we can start. We can start. And I'll teach you how." You see, That's why the radio business is in big trouble. It's because everything has changed. And what has happened even in this COVID crisis is where people have set in place and set in time, they are now more and more used to listening to the music and the programs and the things they want to hear rather than what happens to be there. And so they're all going to be much more inclined to listen to the podcasts and the programs and the music they want rather than the ones that the radio station puts on. And so what's going to happen, I would say, in the next 3 to 5 years is the traditional radio station will disappear. What will replace it? We're not sure. But it's not very good news for those who, like me, we loved the towers and the transmitters and the glowing tubes and the realization that maybe millions of people were hanging on to our word as we sauntered up to the microphone and did our deal. Yeah, that was good. That was fun. Lots of fun. It was rewarding. It was profitable and fruitful. But the time has come, the time is now, for that to go. And we'll have to go and change with it. Now, that's the story of radio. What's your story? By the way, I'm going to stay in the radio business, but not in the way radio has been done. Radio is a man or a woman who has something they want to say, something they want to share, and something they want to communicate, and then they want the people to communicate back. They want to create a community of people who talk, speak, argue, debate, and they do so in a way that doesn't build division, but builds a community of understanding and an understanding of differences. It is good that people meet together, talk together, and share their stories. Sharing stories is what makes the world work. And that's the business I'm in, of helping people share their stories. Because everybody's story is worthwhile, and everybody has something worth saying, and everybody has wisdom, insight, and truth that they can share, and I want to help you share it with others. In fact, it's a noble mission, and I expect to do it as long as God gives me the breath and the ability to speak and do that kind of work. Now, what about your business? What about your life? Right now, 2020 is a forced time out. And maybe what that is all about is for you to understand that what we thought would happen, could happen, should happen, might not be. So what about your life and your business? What is going to change? What might you have to quit doing? You might lose that business. You might lose that position. You might lose that opportunity. People might not value what you do anymore. Then what? How will you re-entrepreneur, re-engineer, re-radio your message and your service to others? How do you change the program and change the stations and change you in making life work in these changing times? Those are the questions I have. By the way, if there's some of the same questions you have, I think I can help you. Been a long time in the business of asking questions, telling stories, and of helping people figure out who they are, who is God, and what are they supposed to do now in their life and in their business, so that they can be fully alive, so they can thrive as well as survive, so they can serve others and make a profound difference. We still have time to do that, and we're going to do it. Please reach out to me because I will and can help you. My name is Stan Houston, and stanhouston@gmail.com will work just fine. stanhouston@gmail.com. And, yeah, guys, on the radio, we're going to have to change, and we're going to have to change now. Best and blessings to us and to our families as we go, indeed, through these changing times. Bye for now.